Welcome to Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. We're right at the base of the tree. Right there. We waited until we could see the ground before we started walking. Allowed us to go a little bit quieter. Still kind of tough though because there's so many leaves on the ground that you can't see the twigs underneath. It's really still. But to our knowledge, we didn't spook anything coming in. So I'm going to get up into the tree here. It's the same stand where I shot that buck and doe back on November 9th. Wind should be blowing from pretty much the same direction, coming from where those deer approached from back then towards our west. So it's a west wind. Chilly this morning, mid-20s. I'm sweating now though. It's not a good combination. But we made it, and I'll check back in a little bit up in the tree.
Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails is brought to you by Redneck Blinds, Code of Silence Apparel, Hunt Stand Pro Whitetail, Fuse Accessories, Elevate Tree Stands, B3 Releases and Broadheads, and Hoyt.
We're sitting right at the head of a draw, and that's how we walked in. We came up that draw. Behind me, to the west, is a big bedding area, and then in front of me, on either side of that draw, are 2 points that stick out back to the east, and the deer bed on both of those too. So we're sitting on, I would say, maybe the intersection of 3 really good bedding areas. The 2 bucks that I'm still hunting on this farm have been up in this area in the past 10 days, let's say. Maybe not specifically right here, but about 300 yards that direction. There's an open grass field. I had a camera there and I was picking them up there. They could definitely be in here. I'm sure they are, from time to time. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting experiment because the rut is more or less wound down. So it's just going to be, it'll be interesting to see if the bucks are still cruising. Last time we sat here, we saw 2 does and 3 or 4 bucks, one of which I killed. That was an evening hunt. I don't have any predictions. I've stopped making predictions. Every time I make an over-under line, we always hit the under. So maybe I'll put my over-under line at 0, because you can't go under that. behind him.
What's the one behind him?
I think that might be our other shooter.
Because I'm on the other one. Do you want me to video?
No, I mean, I don't think.
Might come this way too.
Yeah. Nope. I don't know what that last one is. That 10-pointer's running down the hill. That's the one that we want. Is that other 8-pointer still there? Yeah, there he is. High up in the shoulder. I've got a certain number of does that I'm trying to kill on the farm this year. So I'm pretty aggressive when I get a chance at them because you don't get lots of opportunities. For example, if I'm trying to kill 12 does, I've got to make good on just about every opportunity. You're not gonna control deer numbers with a bow unless you're really aggressive and make the shots. And she was going to come through, but then right at the last second there, I don't know if she picked up our swirling scent, she stopped and stamped her foot. And I had an angle there, and with this bow that I'm shooting, I'm shooting 80 pounds and 31.5, 32-inch draw with 525 grain arrows. I mean, penetration's never a problem. I tried to hit right on the meaty part of the shoulder because I've driven the full length of does a number of times shooting them there, and I missed just a tiny little bit. It went maybe an inch or two left, but I'm sure she's dead. That fawn that was with her came back circling around again looking, so that tells me that doe is dead. So she probably went 100 yards down in there. But that shot selection, it doesn't work in every situation. Obviously, you've got to have a setup that's geared for penetration. I'm shooting, that was with the B3 XO3 mechanical broadhead. It's a smaller cutting diameter mechanical head. And as I mentioned, I'm pushing it with a lot of kinetic energy. With that heavy arrow, probably 300 feet per second or faster. So we've got a little meat for the Thanksgiving meal. Carson said that his family was going to go hungry if we didn't kill at least one doe. Time for us to get down from the tree and do a little tracking. It'd be a good day to sit. It's really comfortable. Beautiful conditions. I thought we were going to be cold up here, but the sun is warm and there's hardly any wind. So a guy could sit here all day, but I've got work to do, and got to get the Whitetail Watch episode up, and hopefully we got a a little bit of meat we have to get processed yet today. So I guess, you look at this hunt and you're trying to figure out, okay, what did I learn today? A couple things. One has to do with the entry into a tough spot for a morning hunt. And it didn't hurt us one bit to come in late. I mean, the sun was already up by the time we got in the tree, so we were at least half an hour, 40 minutes late for legal shooting time. And I didn't feel like that hurt us one bit. The deer came in later. And that's pretty normal in bedding areas. The other thing is, boy, this year it's been really tough in the open, but every time we've sat back here in the timber, we've had good hunts. That means you can't just go by what you're seeing on the fields, because there could be a whole lot more going on back in the timber, and that was definitely the case here. I mean, yesterday, Ethan and I sat on a food source, didn't see a deer, and then this morning, not too far from there, we saw tons of deer and lots of activity in a really good chase. So those are the big takeaways for me. Is sometimes, as much fun as it is to see the deer come out in the open and get those controlled shots, the real action can be back in the timber. I'll see you right back here again. I'm gonna hunt this weekend, so I'll see you back here in a few days. Hopefully you have a great Thanksgiving. Check out, if you would, the Thanksgiving sale we've got on the Bowhunting Whitetails merchandise. Go to shopbowhuntingwhitetails.com, promo code DREAMBIG, all caps, no space, and you'll be helping us out there. We'll see you right back here again in a few days for the next episode of Hoyt's Bowhunting Whitetails. And remember to always dream your turn big. Now I wish I would have missed her. Whew. Carson's got strong legs. This is not good. It's just right straight off the bluff. I'm not sure she could have died in a worse spot for us. This is their revenge.